A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant development in the ongoing law enforcement strategy in the nation's capital, some National Guard members in Washington, D.C. will be armed starting Sunday night. This directive, confirmed by military officials, marks a notable escalation in President Trump's approach to policing amid rising tensions surrounding crime in the city. According to a spokesperson for the Joint Task Force in D.C., fewer than 50 guardsmen will carry their assigned service weapons, although the exact locations and specifics of their deployment remain undisclosed due to security concerns. The Secretary of Defense has mandated that these service members operate under established rules for the use of force, which stipulate that force should only be used as a last resort and in response to imminent threats of death or serious bodily harm. The decision to arm the National Guard comes as President Trump has intensified his intervention into local law enforcement, citing an epidemic of crime in Washington. With nearly 2,000 National Guard troops currently stationed in the city, the recent arrival of additional troops from several Republican-led states has further fueled concerns about federal overreach into local governance. Initially, the Pentagon had indicated that troops would not carry weapons, but the latest guidance has reversed that stance, permitting armed patrols. The National Guard's role in D.C. has primarily focused on protecting landmarks and assisting with crowd control, rather than direct law enforcement. Reports have surfaced of guardsmen engaging in community interactions, such as feeding squirrels and helping individuals with their belongings. However, the recent decision to arm them raises questions about the potential shift in their responsibilities and the nature of their presence in the city. Trump's administration has faced criticism for its approach to crime in D.C., especially as local officials argue that the initiative is unnecessary. Despite claims from the president that crime rates are on the rise, local police data indicates a decline in violent crime over the past year and a half. This contradiction has sparked a debate about the effectiveness and motivations behind the federal deployment of the National Guard. In a related development, Trump has hinted at expanding military deployments to other Democratic-led cities, including Baltimore, Chicago, and New York. This threat has drawn sharp rebukes from local leaders, particularly Maryland Governor Wes Moore, who criticized the president's narrative on crime and public safety. Moore's invitation for Trump to visit Baltimore was met with a threat of military intervention, further complicating the already tense relationship between state and federal authorities. As protests against the National Guard's presence in D.C. have emerged, residents have expressed mixed feelings about the increased military visibility. While some feel safer, others view the deployment as an unnecessary escalation that disproportionately targets communities of color. The Reverend Al Sharpton has voiced concerns over the racial implications of the National Guard's presence, highlighting the lack of white mayors being subjected to similar scrutiny. Governor J.B. Pritzker of Illinois echoed these sentiments, asserting that there is no emergency in Chicago that warrants a National Guard deployment. He accused Trump of trying to manufacture a crisis to justify his actions. As the situation continues to unfold, the implications of armed National Guard members in Washington, D.C., and the potential for similar actions in other cities remain a focal point of national discourse on crime, governance, and civil rights. The broader implications of this military involvement in local policing raise critical questions about the balance of power between federal and local authorities, particularly in cities with predominantly Democratic leadership. As Trump considers further military action in urban areas, the ongoing debate over public safety, crime rates, and community trust in law enforcement will undoubtedly shape the political landscape leading up to the next election cycle. The National Guard's role in D.C. may serve as a bellwether for the future of federal intervention in local law enforcement across the United States, with significant ramifications for civil liberties and community relations. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.